Going live. Okay, good. There was a hiccup before. I was worried it wouldn't go through. I am just finishing up some very fast beading on this strand, which is riveting. Hello, welcome. I'm trying to get this beading done real quick so I can put this skirt on the mannequin. I don't want to have a live pokey needle sticking out in the fabric while I do some draping on it, although I might have to. Hello, welcome. I had the privilege of judging at Emerald City Comic Con this year and for the cosplay competition, and I saw some really, really cool work. And some of the pieces were really inspiring. And one contestant that I judged had all this, it was like hidden beadwork in their garment, little 15 zero seed beads, like the tiniest little delicate beads. And they were so pretty. And I felt so inspired by it. So I lost everybody. I wonder if that's me. Did I lose internet connection? Nope, I'm still live. Anyway, so I was really inspired by it, and this skirt that I'm working on for my new Zelda cosplay. On the hem, I did a little bit of light embroidery work just with the machine, some of their fancy stitches, with the intent that I was going to go through and add some little seed bead work, which is what I am finishing up right now. It's not done, but at least the beadwork on this single strand will be done. So I won't have a loose strand or needle hanging down. And it's nothing fancy, but I was just so inspired by the talent that I got to see in the cosplay community and the maker community. And I wanted to give it a try myself. And it is a little bit tedious, but overall, I'm really happy with the result. You can't see anything, but let me tie this off. I've never worked with such fine needles either, and that has been a learning experience. Okay, I think that knot will hold. Let me tie it down a little bit more. I'm also using, on top of the smallest beads you've ever seen in your entire life, I'm also using invisible thread, which is not my favorite to work with, but it certainly has its uses, and it's a really great tool. It's just so obnoxious. It's really a finicky material to work with. And sewing with it is really challenging too. Sewing with it in your machine. Trim those. Look, just a little bit of seed bead work along the hem. I like it. I like how it's turning out. I have to hide my beads from the cats because I know their little paws just want to step in all those little bead wells. So I have to put it away and take it out. We got a bunch of chaos around us. I'm gonna move the microphone right here and my mouse off to the side. So I'm working on my Princess Zelda cosplay. There she is. And we are today working on part of the costume still. Last time we were together, I was working on the tabard, and I've made some progress on that. And I've made progress on other parts of the tabard too. So you can see this is all the bead work and then some of the applique that needs to be done. So I have been building out all those beads, physically making them. There's some with balsa wood and with Sculpey, and then adding some ties, some anchor points for it. So these are all made out of balsa wood and then sanded and cleaned up. And they will drape down the front of this tabard. But I've also been working on, alongside that, take that off over there, clips, a way to secure the tabard onto the garment. I'll move her up here. Will that work? Yeah, off to the side. There we go. And that's what these are. There's some little practice clips. I've actually got the finished, like the finalized pieces here. They've been primed in black. They're ready for wet sanding, and then I'll be ready to paint them. But this is how they work. These are the prototypes. They've got these little so it's 3D printed, and they have some little like three-dimensional elements that I would like to be in different colors. Like I think I'm going to make these silver and then the three-dimensional elements gold. So they're all separate tiny little pieces, but these just hook on to the corner of the tabard and then slide over the back of the corset. And it's not fancy. It's nothing like engineering, marvelistic, fantastical 3D printing. It gets the job done. I feel like the designs are in the Zelda world. They're from my own brain juices. And so that's the tabard in its process of being made. Where am I going to hang this up? It's got some boning up here for support and some boning down here. I haven't figured out how to do the bottom part. I ended up using the same fabric on both sides, so it's flat lined, and then the edges are finished with really, really thin bias tape and some gold thread detailing. I didn't end up putting, I'm so sorry, I didn't end up putting a dart in it. It complicated the silhouette, and I don't think I actually need it in the end. But I played around with that for quite a while before I was like, I think I can just get away with a flat piece. I could use some more ironing, I think, just to get the fabric, maybe some steaming to help the fabric lay smoothly. I got some weird spots on this side. I don't know where that's from. I hope they don't leak through to the front. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking with my back to the microphone so you can actually hear me. Let me get some clips out. Can I? There we go. Tabard is clipped. So beads are made. This part is, in my mind, it's flat. I think it's heat transfer vinyl. This is what I'm going to use. And then maybe like outline it with beadwork to give it some like dimension. I was thinking about outlining the edges with beadwork too. So that's something that is on the docket for the future. Right now, though, I need to get my skirt on to the mannequin so that I can start to pattern the overskirt, which is what we're working on today. I don't know if I need to. Do I need to? I don't even think I need to untie this because I don't think it matters. I think I can just put the skirt over the top, even though it's not meant to be worn. It's meant to go underneath the bodice. And the skirt isn't totally completely done. The zipper is in the back. I still need to add the clip, the little attachment hook, and I need to finish the zipper end, but the majority of it is complete. I think we can just, slip it up and over. So in addition to working on the beading, I have a little bit more construction work to do before this underskirt is complete. That hook would actually be really helpful for putting this on. I should prioritize that. I just hate doing all that like little finicky hand sewing work. I find it so tedious, and so I always save it to the end. I even on my Ellen Ripley cosplay, I totally forgot about like the belt loop stuff until I showed up at the photo shoot and I was like, oh no, this is unfinished. Like I didn't have any buttons or anything in it. So we just had to pin it together. And then I got home and finished it because I hate it. And I put it off to the end. You know what I'm going to do though? You hear all the hardware in the background. I'm going to get the hardware out. Might as well like get it out and get it ready and have it in hand. What do I want? What do I want to use? What do I actually want to use? Do I want to use a big silver one? I'm gonna use a black one. Yeah, the black is more hidden. I like to use do I want to use a big guy? Gosh, I like the big hooks better than the small hooks. So I think I'm gonna use a big hook. I do have an actual actual belting hooks. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's coming along. I've made a ton of progress, but that's why we're patterning the overskirt today. Trying to decide what kind of loop and hook I want to use for the back of it. Not that I'm going to sew that on because boring. But okay, I'm going to use what I have, and I like the black ones. Let's use those. Jingle, so much noise. Okay, so my hooks are there for when I'm ready. Let's grab, you know what I also didn't grab? Unprepared she is. I didn't grab any of my mock-up fabric, my muslin. I'm almost ready for another bolt of this. I'm gonna have to order some soon because I only think I have a couple more yards of it left. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. I mean, I really like, as tedious as it is to do all this seed bead work, I really like how it turned out. And I know most of it isn't gonna get seen, but I don't care. It's the joy of making something that makes me feel pretty, and I really like it. I also have plans to put some hardware back here, something decorative to hide my really, really terrible corner that I didn't want to engineer it. So I just decided to hide it, which I've done in the past. And I like how it turns out when I do stuff like that. So I don't have any examples up here, but Link from Breath of the Wild, that cosplay on the corner. I want to say, hi, Danny. I want to say they're plackets. They're it's where his tunic splits on the middle hem. Finishing that top corner piece is really hard. So I just didn't. And instead, I made some decorative elements to overlay on top of it. And it worked great. I want to do that again. So I still have that to do too. So we are definitely in process of making this, in the nitty-gritty part of it. I'm sorry for the congestion. Yesterday I was outside in the garage sanding. So she has all this jewelry, beads on her arms and under her bust and on her ankles and the necklace, tons and tons of these chunky beads. And so I wanted to make them. So I cut them all out of balsa wood and I glued them together, and I've been sanding them. And I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but I posted about this. It turns out I'm incredibly allergic to balsa dust. And even though I was fully masked and my goggles on and I take an allergy medication, I use a nasal spray, I still got a lungful, and it has really messed me up. So I'm still a little bit congested about it. But the sanding is done. Now I just need to drill the holes. So we are in the thick of it. And I really want to make this pattern, this overdress today. This one right here. I'll show you the fabric I have for it. It's off to the side. Squeeze through my mess of stuff. I have 3 projects going on. So this is the fabric that I got for the overskirt. And I like it kind of mostly. I think I'm gonna like it better when it's assembled and drapey and flowy. Right now, I'm in that phase where I'm is it the thing that I wanted? It's got this beautiful slub texture, and it's almost it's a linen polyester, so it's linen-y, but it doesn't wrinkle, and it's got these nice little brown flecks, kind of an oatmeal-y color. But I just need to I need to make the thing, and then I think I'll like it better. Oof, what a rough thing to be allergic to. Yeah, I know. I didn't know either. I mean, I know I'm allergic to the world in general, and cats, and dust, and grass, and trees, and flowers. Which is why I take an allergy medication religiously. But the balsa wood is a whole nother level, and it triggers my asthma too. So I've been pumping on the inhaler as well. I need a better respirator, I think. I think I'm gonna have to invest in like the full face one, which it might be time. I wouldn't be angry about it. Okay. I am awful at draping. It's embarrassing how bad I am. But I don't really see a way around it. Sometimes when I start patterning, like it depends on what I'm working on. This isn't a competition thing or anything. So it's not like I have to start from scratch. Sometimes I'll start from a commercial pattern because like they know their shapes, like their basic shapes. What is the like they give you a sloper. I'm not using that word right. They're giving you essentially like a sloper to start with, and then I modify from there. And this is like, it's got some really interesting stuff going on. So it sits under bust, and then it's got these like panels, like layers, very structured pieces underneath it. And I don't think it's enough just to make it kind of bunchy on the bum or on the like it's kind of like around the thigh. I think I'm actually going to have to like make some structured sewn elements. This might be a great candidate for Foss shape. Honestly, if you've Foss shape is a fabric thermoplastic, so you can sew with it. It's like felt, and then you apply heat to it and it hardens, and you can reshape it, which is nice. So you can sew it into things, and then sew it into a garment, and then you can apply that heat and it will shape it. And then there's like this, almost like this braided element that sits kind of at a little bit above the bust line. And then some like beads sit underneath that. So how am I going to do this? What do I want to do? I'm thinking about some dress patterns that I have. I should have done this ahead of time, but I thought it'd be more authentic to see like, this is kind of the chaos that I work in. Hold on. Now I'm stepping over a bunch of things. I'm coming over here to get my patterns out. What do I want? I want this one. Oh, back in the days when we had Joann's and they used to have like pattern dollar sales, and I would just like go in and buy patterns that I thought would be something I might use at some point in time. So I have a bunch of, I put all my homemade patterns on top. Oh, that doesn't work. That might work. And I have some vintage patterns too, but they're harder to work with. Vintage patterns are unforgiving. If you've ever sewn them, they're like, cut out the pieces, sew them together, done. And you're kind of left like, cool, yeah. Bring forth the yeah, this is one of 4 holding all my patterns. But I was thinking, because I've got a couple that I think might get the job done. If I can find them in here, they might give me the base shape. Oh, well, that actually was a lot faster than I was thinking it would be. Do I think, no, I don't need to like look at the men's patterns or anything. Okay. Is that? Do I want to make it? I want to make it all one piece-ish. So, that will take a little bit of like, definitely sewing it together and then cutting it out strategically. All right, so here are the 4 that speak to me, and I'll tell you why each one does. The first one is this vintage romper pattern, which I have made. Love it. Super cute. And it's the top that is really speaking to me, that has this like folded over top. And kind of like a fitted bodice too. That could work out. And along the same lines with this vintage dress pattern, which I have also made it. So I have this like modified pattern fit for my body already. And it's the folded over the front. You can kind of see that front fold that really speaks to me. And then the bodice. And then these two patterns are also speaking to me. This one, because it has this modification right here that has these kind of like lumpy bumpy things, like a draped fabric piece. But as I look at the back of it, oh no, it's a full drape. There's one that's like a crossbody panel, but there's one that's a full hip drape. And then I don't even remember. Apparently I bought a Hilary Duff pattern. This must have been back when she was still doing Lizzie McGuire stuff. But it's kind of got this like swoopy, it's a little more of a like streamlined silhouette rather than a bigger, bunchy, hippier silhouette. Here are some things that I know about me, my fit. I am a larger size on bottom than I am on top. So my hips and my legs are very strong. I have a very solid base. And if I build that out too much, it makes me look a little bit disproportionate. I've made that, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but I've made that choice in the past, and I didn't love the final silhouette that resulted from it. So whatever I do, I don't want to like overdo it. It has to be enough shape to look like Zelda, but not so much that it makes me look like I'm standing in a funhouse mirror. Okay. Which is why the Hilary Duff one speaks to me, because it's a little more streamlined, but I'm worried it may not be enough. And then the top, the bodice, I almost feel like this could be an underbust corset. Like that kind of a shape. And then I could make the braided part and just set it on top. Like it doesn't have to be a rollover. I could pat it out and kind of like turn it in a really interesting shape. And then just like tack it down. That might be the way to go. So which one do I want to use? This is a cute dress with this little folded over empire waist. That's really cute. This is a cute dress too. It's got a little bow on it. This one has straps. Okay, Hilary Duff, I think you're out. I think you're actually too streamlined. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I'm going to go a little bit bigger first and then take it in. And then this romper is so stinking cute. Should I make the one with the little, like, the skirt, the little ruffled skirt? Romper, I like you. I think these are the same. I think these are the same bodice, if I'm being honest. This, like, oh no, I guess it's not. This one has a little notch in it, so it's two pieces, and this one is all the way across. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is the bodice shape. And I'm going to start sneezing in a second. Let's see. Yeah, what I'm looking at here with this pattern, if I'm starting from a commercial pattern, so the bodice is the same across this. It's definitely, it's one piece in front and two pieces in the back, and then a zipper. And rather than do princess seams, there are darts. It's not a bad thing. It's very, that to me speaks like very much vintage. This bodice climbs a little bit higher, like it has a rounded top, and I think that is not going to serve me. I think that maybe less is more in this case. Okay, here are my two patterns. Commercial patterns that I think I'll start with just to like give me a sense of direction. So I'm going to use this McCall's M6508 for the skirt pattern, for the like swoopy, this one right here. I can do this better. For this pattern right here, for this kind of like swoopy skirt pattern. And then I'm going to use this vintage M3654 pattern for the bodice top. I have a feeling though that what do I feel like? Oh, I don't like darts. I'd rather just sew princess seams. If I can be honest, I think they like fit my frame better. However, we should just follow the pattern. And I did cut and modify all these pieces because here's the thing. It says it's a 31-inch bust. I do not have a 31-inch bust. That is a tiny, tiny bust. And let's see the pattern pieces. Let's see what they give us. For the shorts, which we're not doing. It'd be so cute though, right? I wonder if I could do a cute little center back. Okay, so here's the front. Oh, but we don't need the fold over. Shoulder strap, no shoulder straps. Shorts, nope. Shorts back, nope. Yeah, it's just going to be a couple of tiny little pieces, huh? That I maybe accidentally taped together. Oh, it's in case I need to replace the dart. Okay, so here's the bodice back. And here's the bodice front, which, what did I do? There we go. Yeah, there's the bodice front, and I taped my darts cut out to it. I wonder why I did that. Don't cut dart. Oh. I made a note on it. I must have screwed it up. Add 5/8 inch to every seam. Oh, okay, so I did modify it for my size. All right. This is all shorts. That's it. Those are the two pieces. I can work with that. That'll give me a starting point for the top, and I don't even have to follow the directions because I know how to put a bodice together. Then I can sew it all together and cut out my pieces lengthwise, so it's one solid something or another. Okay. Now, if I remember, yeah, I need to put the bodice front on the fold. I'm sorry, I just keep bumping the microphone. All right, here we go. Bodice front on the fold. Move even more stuff off to the side. This is why it gets crazy with building. I looked back on my notes for costume the other day, and it was just like, put the crinkle thing here. What the hell's the crinkle thing? Yeah, you and I make notes very much like similarly, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll remember this in the future. And it doesn't matter how many times I have made that mistake, like, oh, I'll remember this in the future. I still do it. How is the crinkle thing? The crinkle thing here. Yep. Yep. I get it. I think the only pattern I have ever like genuinely spent time really, really like building out and making it in some kind of meaningful way was a was my corset pattern. Like that sloper is one that I live and breathe by. Okay, I wonder if 5/8 I wonder if 5/8 is gonna be enough. Hold on. Do I have my it can't be what's that 31-inch bust line, maybe like 100 years ago. Yeah. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm gonna need to add at least an inch to every, at least we're gonna start with an inch to every edge. And then they say a 5/8 inch. I really will. This time I'll really remember it. Yep. I don't need 5/8 inch for a seam allowance. That is too much, but I do need 3/8 inch. So I'm going to just trace this as is to start out with. I keep thinking too, as I like get older and make more and more patterns, that I will just get better at them. But I very rarely revisit patterns that I make. It's definitely a hoarder's instinct to hold on to them. And even when I do, like going back and trying to like figure out what I was thinking in that moment, it is challenging. Oh, but I wouldn't give it up. I'd never, this is how I work. It's this chaos. I wouldn't know how to do anything different. Okay. And I need to make sure I mark. I don't think I'm going to mark the darts at all, actually. I take it back. I regret what I just did. And here's why. In fact, I'm going to untape this and put it back in its spot. The darts are there, I know, to give it shape. And that is something that when I cut this piece out and I actually like put it on my mannequin, I can define that. I can decide what that dart needs to be depending on this mannequin is actually sized to me. Like I did spend time patting it out to make sure like it more or less ish is as close to me as possible. I mean, there's some bits that are like squishier on my person than they are on the mannequin. Okay, here's the start. And I'm even going to I'm going to blow my nose. Sorry. Forgive me. Oh, I wish it was a cold because then I could be like, I'm getting better, but it's just all this all the time. I want to give myself more fabric on the front. I don't know if I know how to do that. All right, let's take all those off. Here's my crazy pattern piece, vintage pattern piece. Maybe I am better off starting out with just like putting a piece of fabric on here. I am so unskilled in draping though. Like I don't know. No, Christy. Be brave, be bold. You can do this. I'm gonna give myself an inch and 3/8 all the way around here. Start with the pieces. You can pin them together so you can see the seam lines, pin them on the outside. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And you have to have a dart. You have to have a booby dart. So don't get rid of that yet. I mean, you don't need to mark it, but don't get rid of it. I've actually already made some modifications to this costume too. Her front bodice front is cut a little lower than I am comfortable with. So I raised the neckline. And so far that's been it. But this is like witchcraft. Patterns make my head hurt. I know. You got this. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the cheerleading. Yeah. Yeah, patterns make my head hurt too. I do wish though, I wish that I had the wherewithal to go back to school for fashion, for like pattern making and sewing. So I know, like I could learn from people who do this seriously and professionally how to do this professionally, rather than like the trial and error that I sit with all the time for the majority of the time. I really admire people who could do this. Like their skill is incredible. Yeah, there. That is a bodice top. Look at that. She is done practically. I'm going to lower this to right here. There we go. What else is there to do? Okay. Pull this down to right here. And we'll pin that in. All right. And then we are going to do something. What are we going to do? I'm going to fold this down like this, because that's for stitching. Just for now. It's probably going to need to get folded lower. And I am going to pin my side. This is where my side seam will be. Fold that over because that's my seam allowance. Okay, get your pieces in place first. I really want my seam allowance to be along my center. And that would be right here. So I fold that over too. Fold that over. And now here's where we would have our dart. So let's fold that where the dart would exist. It exists like this. And because I didn't cut it out, and I'm not letting it tell me how to live my life, I get to define what that dart seam looks like. That's too much dart. There. How much dart is too much dart? Does the internet have opinions about this? I'm sure someone has opinions about this. Hold on. I keep a book, like the Complete Guide to Sewing. I keep it nearby because it has opinions about stuff like this. And 159 darts. How much dart is too much dart? Darts are one of the most basic structural elements in dressmaking. Darts are formed by triangular shapes. Yep, we got that. You place the dart, you press it. A contour dart or a French dart. That's not French. They were calling for French darts here. This is not. Oh, no, wait. A French dart extends diagonally from the side seam in the hip area to the bust. Oh, I lied. This is a French dart. The diagonal line can be straight or slightly curved. French darts are found on the front of a garment, never the back. And they're all constructed in a special way. Wait, is that darts? Is a French dart different because it's... I don't know. I always thought that you don't want your dart to point to your nipple. I said those things on the internet just now. Yeah. Like, you don't want it to go all the way because it draws attention to, like, or maybe that our underline can be handled in 2 ways. Yeah, I know how to do it. I just wanna know, like, when I'm making a dart, how much dart is too much dart? It doesn't say. And reading on the internet isn't very exciting, so I don't know what dart is, so maybe you got this. Why do you never put darts on the back? Um, I think because you don't have this rounded part on the back, but you can put princess seams. I don't know. That feels like I think if you want to put a dart in the back, you can put a dart in the back. But I would opt for almost always I opt for a princess seam instead. I just think for me they're more flattering. Like I went out shopping the other day and I was tried on 3 dresses and I decided I didn't like any of them, but if they were all like if the a feature of each dress had all been together, I would have loved it. And one of the things that I didn't like was that 2 of the dresses didn't have like pretty seaming, and the princess seams for me was on one of the dresses, and that's what I really really liked. So maybe that's what I do instead of like this is a dart, this folded over. It's to give your fabric shape, and then this would have been, I guess this would have been a contoured dart. But I am kind of rectangular. So I don't need a lot of dart, but I do need a little bit of dart. And this is where I don't know. I think the princess seams look more prettier than the darts do. That's a word. More prettier than the darts do. So that like these darts, they fold the fabric to give it structure, to give it shape. But you got to fold it the right way. And if you don't, then you get weird stuff like this weird crease right here. So I need to pull this. I need to adjust this so that I don't get weird. But maybe I do. This is where I'm so bad at draping. And I know this is, you're not supposed to put your darts. You're supposed to put especially your bust seam darts. You press them down like that. Man, fashion school. If only I would know all these things, I assume. Although some of that I think I can work out when I actually like sew something together and making adjustments. Oh, that makes what is a princess seam is like this. This is a princess. I mean, this is a corseted bodice, but a princess seam is a seam that runs across your bust line and then down kind of on the outsides of your belly button and all the way down. And you can put princess seams on your back. And what they do is they cut your pattern into like vertical elements that you can stitch together to create curves in a flat fabric. So like if I was going to do on this side, and I think I'm glad you asked because I want to try this out. So this is like a rectangle, but this isn't a rectangle, right? She's got contours because you got to fill it with stuff. So I can use darts to create curves and contours in the fabric, or I can add seams through the entire thing that allow the fabric to be the pieces that allow flat pieces to stitch together to accommodate contours and curves. I'm not explaining this very well. It's how it's really like the magic of corsetry is your seam placements help create shape in your flat pieces of fabric. Let's see. So my princess seams would run like this. Oh, I think you just heard my stomach rumble. There we go. There's that. And I'm sure that there is a place where your princess seams are supposed to be. And I don't know where that place is. I'm sure there are rules you're supposed to follow with your princess seams. But I don't know those rules. So I am not following them. Let me pin that back. Pin that in. Pin that in. Just hold it. And that seam up there needs to take in a little bit more. Like that. But I need to move it over. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So we've accomplished the same thing 2 different ways. We have turned a flat piece of fabric into a contoured shape. In this side, we've used darts to accomplish that, which is how a lot of vintage patterns call for it. And then on this side, we've used seaming, princess seaming, to create shape. I like this. I prefer princess seams if I'm going to sew something, because I feel like the darts create kind of like torpedo heads for your boobs. That's basically it. So if I have a choice, I always go with a princess seam. Plus, it gives you, like, if we're being honest, I am not a professional seamstress. I'm not a professional tailor. A lot of what I make is guesswork, and I do a lot of pattern modification, and princess seams are easier to, like, tailor than it is to, like, take a dart in and out. So I find that if I have to do something that's going to have a lot of adjustment, princess seams work better for me, because I can, like, take in 1/4 of an inch here, take in it, like, add a little bit more curve here. Whereas, like, the darts, you kind of have to get it right. This top. Oh no, I was thinking for my Fallout cosplay, the top started with darts in it, and I changed it to princess seams because sometimes vibes, yeah, is the best way to craft. I agree. Yeah, totally. I think so. I'm going to take out these darts entirely. And the way you cut darts out versus the way you cut out princess seams is different. Like the fabric. I also like princess seams because that's gone forever. You save on your, you get smaller fabric pieces. So there's a little bit more work to do in that regard. But it's easier to fit those pieces to your fabric because you're working with smaller pieces. So like this, see this weird shape down here? That's to accommodate the fabric that's going to get eaten up in the dark, in the dart, which we now know we are not going to need. So I'm going to just trim that off somehow. This and my not lost pin right here. Where's my rotary cutter? Rotary cutter. Oh, here you are. My rotary tool. Okay. That was a waistline. So should I use maybe this? There's a good chance I'll just cut this off too. Huh. What did the back piece look like? Yeah, same thing. It could have just like... Okay. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to say, this is the side seam, and I'm going to cut it this way. I don't need all that extra dart fabric. I probably need more fabric for the boobies, though. That's fine. It's fine. We're not worried. We're not worried. We're not worried. We're going to turn that over. Are we going to turn it over? Do we need to turn it over? I don't think we do. I think I'm going to put this right here. Nope, I think I'm going to just like drape it like this. All right. Okay, I have a plan of attack. And it's going to look crazy. I'm going to pattern for 1/2. Where I think it's going to sit. Where does it sit on you? Where did I put you? Zelda! Where are you? I'm going crazy. She's around here somewhere. I put her somewhere. Huh. On the counter. To your left. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I never, ever would have found it. Never would have found it. Okay. So about nipple height. Uncomfortable. I'm unhappy about that, but here we are. She is about there. I didn't think about that when I chose this cosplay, and that's okay. I'm going to pin her right through there. Just hold that up. And I'm going to pin up over here too because I don't want this falling in the way. Yeah, we're just going to go with vibes. That was a good suggestion. Does her armpit, what does her armpit look like? Okay, so she's got the green dress is exposed all the way around. So it's going to sit about right here, which is great. I'm just going to mark it with a pin. Green pin is where I want it to lay. I can't push it through the boning though, right there. Okay, now I am going to get my center line. Like this. Through the boning, right? Yep. Get my center line laid out. Right there. I can feel it. I'm cheating and using the boning. I can feel there's a front piece of boning right here. So I can kind of trace it all the way down. I think most people would probably tape it. And now I'm going to follow the line of my corset and just pinch my fabric. And I'm going to use, I have a habit of putting things high up and then never looking up. That's really funny. I'm so sorry. We have a rule in my house because I am 5'1" and my partner is 6'3". He gets all the high up shelves and he can do whatever he wants with those high up shelves. But if he puts something communal on one of the high up shelves, then whenever I need it, I get to request and he has to just come and like reach for it for me. I know I could just get like a step stool and I have them around the house too, but high ups are his. The high ups are his. And now I'm going to go through this and just pinch my fabric so I have a nice line, like the fabric is taut between here and here. Like that. And it doesn't matter how much fabric I'm pinching. What matters is that I'm creating the lines, right? and I'm following underneath this. I'm feeling for, there it is, the boning of the corset to follow for the lines. And I do have, like, my bust is larger than my waist, so I do have a little bit of pinching to do there. That's nice. A little bit of shape. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing here. Wait. Wait. What am I doing? How many princess seams do I need? I really only need, I don't need as many pieces of the corset because I don't need the structure. So I could just get by with a front one, a side seam, and then a back. I'll need to do a back seam in the back. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to take that out. And now I'm going to just gently, like, do the same thing that I did on this side. I'm going to pin down my seam, my fabric. I'm going to pin down my fabric. I'm not super worried about pinning through the peach skin either because it's polyester, so I can just steam it and it'll go back together. So I'm not worried about poking a bunch of holes in my bodice. Also, no one's going to see it. So if I do poke a lot of holes in it, no one will notice. All right. Pin that down. No, his answer for his height crafts. Agreed. Oh man, his whole family is tall too. They're amazing. They have this tall power that I don't even understand. It's so unfair. I went to the doctor's office just years ago, and it was in a new building, and they're really excited. Like, it was this brand new facility, and I was like, cool, this is great. And I walk in, and they do, like, their initial intake stuff, and they're like weighing me and like measuring my height, and they're like, okay, you are 5 1/4 inch. And I was like, no, I am not. I want to be very clear. I am 5 feet 1 1/2 inches tall. And they're like, no, our thing says that you're 5 foot 1/4 inch. And I was like, then your wall is wrong. I fight for every inch I get. And they were. They're wrong. They measured it again. They're like, oh yeah, we are off. When you live with someone who reminds you of how short you are all the time, just by the power of his tallness, Okay. I feel like now I'm getting kind of like, now what? I want to make sure my pieces are flat-ish. They're not super like rumpled. So I'm going to find my middle. This is where that next seam will be. And I adjust the fabric, right? I like fold and like mark. And like fell out of my mouth somewhere. Here it is. Nope, that's a piece of string. Now there's a pin somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. It's not lost forever. Okay. Like that. Yeah, like that. There's a place in Portland where I like to fabric shop called Mill End. And the people there are so stinking like fabric talented. They have, to demonstrate, to show their fabrics, they have mannequins up where their associates have just draped the fabric into garments. And it's so cool. And I aspire and admire the work that they do, because clearly that is not something that I am good at. Oh, okay. So in theory, now that I have draped this and not marked it, but just like, I guess I should mark it. So I know. I don't know where the skirt will sit, where like clearly there's got to be the skirt part, but we haven't cut those pieces out yet. And I know that this isn't even. I know this isn't like, but she's got a little bit more green in front than she does on under her armpit. So I think it's okay. Do I attempt? Yeah, I think I just go for it. I'm not going to cut. I have my fingers behind my fabric so I can make sure I am not cutting through anything important. Like the garments underneath. But also I don't want to cut my fingers because these shears are sharp. Okay, so there is one piece. And use pins to mark the top of it. Because I don't want to use a marker or a pen in case I mark my garments underneath. So we're just using pins. And then here, what am I going to do? I'm going to trim off the bottom is what I'm going to do because it's too long. And who cares what's going on down there right now? Whew, okay. Now I'm going to carefully cut the middle. Cut this middle part. Again, my fingers are going to be behind it so I can. Oh, I had a moment. Fingers behind so you can feel what you're cutting. Just not your fingers, not the garment, just the muslin. Okay. All good. Okay. So that is those pieces. Now what do I want to do? Now I want to do something. I didn't imagine I'd leave any seam allowance. I do the back. This feels like such a Herculean effort though, just to like make these two front pieces. All right. I'm going to use nothing. I'm going to pin this. I'm going to pin along the front middle line as I take my fabric off the mannequin and create a cut line. And I'm going to do the same over here. Following that center line on my mannequin. And I'm doing this for a reason, which is because I'm going to trim it? Question mark? Because I've got this middle princess seam already pinned. So that will give me the line for my cut. And now it's not on the mannequin, so I can actually like draw on it. And I can clean it up a little bit. I just use, when I mark on muslin too, I just use a regular ballpoint pen. The purple ones are my favorite. And they seem to work pretty good. And you can heat set the ink if you need to. I don't, but you could. Extra work. Sometimes it's worth it. All I want to do is, oh, that's so weird. Okay. That one got janky. Just want to like loosely. It doesn't have to be perfect right now because I'm going to have to make a mock-up. I need to just talk myself through this. You're going to have to make a mock-up. And when you make a mock-up, you're going to have to adjust everything anyways. You just need the basic pieces, Christy, to cut out because you don't have something already in existence that works. And you know from experience that that center can't be that smushy. So you're going to have to trim that a little bit with this. Yeah, it can't be that, when I say smushy, it can't be that curvy because it's just going to be one piece and I'll have to put on the fold. So there's that. That's great. Okay. Decisive. Well done. Let's do the side seam because I know that one. I marked it. Trim, 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 trim. And you know that's about where your waist is. So that's great. And then I need to do the top. Oh, I'm going to sneeze though. Excuse me. Right, no smush. No smush. I need to move that needle. I keep chipping my rotary tool because I keep trying to cut over the top of needles. I'm getting better about not doing it, but I still kind of do it all the time. Okay. Now I have this princess seam marked, and it's okay that it is smushy because it's not one that you put on the fold. So smushy is okay. However, we want it to be, we'll just, oh, sorry, I sneeze and then I get sniffly. Allergies. Avoid at all costs. You know, tissue. Best live stream ever. I hate sniffling. Oh, I hate sniffling so much. Okay, I'm better. Problem solved. Probably wiped half my lipstick off. I don't care. Cutting this out smushy. Not hitting any pins. Whew. Whew. And now we have 2 pattern pieces, right? Right? Okay, we've got the side piece and we've got the front piece. Yeah, that's fine. Sure, that probably works. Maybe, I think I'm confused because like I'm thinking about it in terms of what a corset would look like. And if I was going up over the bust, it would have more curvature in it. And like this doesn't go over the bust. It actually probably sits a little bit lower than what I've cut it. And so it doesn't look right in my mind's eye because of that, but it is. It's fine. Let's just get this piece on here so that we can see it. Okay, there's one piece. Pin this one on too. Pin this in. 1, 2, 3. And now we'll do a side piece. I wonder if this would have just been easier if I just got like a princess seam dress pattern. Well, we're draping it now. And if it doesn't work, I have other options. Okay, I want this. I did not give myself any seam allowance because I just want to get the pieces rough cut, I think. It's not like I'm making this up as I go, but I don't often do this. But it's such a weird garment that, well, now it's being weird here. Why is it being weird? Is it upside down? Did I do it upside? Nope, there's that. Oh, is it because I didn't pin this the rest of the way? Is that why? don't know. I don't know. Is that? I don't know. This is a mystery. Oh, I'm going to get some. I was about to say I'm going to get comments on this live stream, except I'm too small potatoes to get comments. So at least I had that. No, don't worry about it. All right, there we go. All right, whatever. I feel like maybe what I need to do is trim some of that out. Yeah. I need to trim some of that out. Look at all that overlap. That didn't need to happen. I messed that up. But that's probably a great alteration to make later on. Okay. Woohoo! Front-ish. Done. Now for the back. We're going to do the same thing. Is it just easier to make a rectangle? I think I'm just going to do that. I'm not even going to worry about the bodice, the pattern. I'm just going to make a rectangle and pin it. Because honestly, it's less work. So still want to use the skirt pattern, but we're done with that one. I don't think I gained a lot from it. This is a perfect scrap piece that I can just use. I'll just cut this off and use this. Okay. So now we take this. We're just going to line up the edges like that. Pin it. Also want to pin it here because I don't want it to, I want to make sure I know the height of it. I don't like this. This is not fun. Oh my God. I didn't realize how much I didn't like this until just this moment. I'm going to use commercial patterns from here on out. This is not joyful. I'm not having a good time. I don't want to do this anymore. And if I don't like doing it, I won't do it. So this is supposed to be for funsies. It's not fun. I don't want to do it. That fabric pizza cutter is rad. Oh yeah, the rotary cutter. This is, if you don't have one of these, this is a life-changing tool. I spent years without a rotary cutter, and you can get by just fine. It's one of those like extra tools in your workshop, but it's once I found it, I was like, oh, where have you been? I cannot continue on without you in my life. And I do all the things you're not supposed to do with it. Like the don't touch my scissors, people are going to come for me because I use it to cut out paper patterns, which you're not supposed to do. And I use it to cut out fabric, which you are supposed to do. And I use it to cut out lots of like thicknesses of fabric. Oh, I love it. It's so good. But I do like I do occasionally like go over a needle or two and chip the blade. And you can resharpen the blades. I don't. I just replace them. Every year I get myself a new one. It's like $20, 20 of the best dollars well spent. And now my brother, who is amazing and wonderful, and I love him, and he'll be like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And we just like build an Amazon list for each other so that we can pick some things and have a little surprise. And it's he's all about useful gifts too. So like I just put that one on my registry, and like I love it. I love it. Every year I get a new one and I use it. Which I think as a gift giver, I love it when people can use gifts that I get them. So okay, I am going to carefully trim this bottom off because I don't need that much fabric. And it does look like a dumpster fire. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's supposed to look like a dumpster fire. It's supposed to be a joyless process. Makes you miserable on the inside. Alrighty. Sniffle, sniffle. Keep on pinning. I'm gonna have to message my friend Heather and be like, how do you do this? Will you please tell me like all the secrets? Because I am missing something. Or maybe I'm just not a pattern draper. Maybe it's not my journey. Maybe I'm going too tight. I don't know. Who knows? But I do know that this is my middle line right here. So I'll be able to cut there. Right here. How do I want to wear this dress? I have not given that any thought. Like, how shall I be putting this dress on my, oops, I have a big gap in the fabric right here. It doesn't matter. How am I going to put this dress on my body? A zipper? Maybe? I could do an invisible zipper. I hate invisible zippers, but I could do it. I hate invisible zippers, not because of like any of the installation or anything. I've actually got that pretty well down. I hate them because they always feel to me like they're on the cusp of breaking. Like they're going to get jammed on one of those poles. You're just going to like get a whole bunch of fabric in there and it'll be dead to you forever. And that makes me really nervous. So I don't like invisible zippers because of that. I would happily have a fancy fashion zipper any day. But she probably has nothing. She has nothing. So maybe a side zipper. A coworker took my good wire strippers out and cut the ropes and zip ties. Oh my god! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Were you able to keep your cool? Because I don't know that I would have been able to. I would have been like, if I'm breaking the rules, it's okay. If anyone else breaks the rules, beware the wrath of Christy. Better be watching your back. Oh God. I suspect though you could probably handle that situation with a lot more grace than I could. I would have lost it. Okay, I think I want to not take that out, but I did. I kind of want to give this a little bit of a curve right here. Just to like fake contour at my waist, maybe, but not a lot, but a little bit, just the right amount that I will definitely be able to figure out as soon as I unpin all this. We're going to do it. I can 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 figure this out. I can figure this out. Okay. That looks like crazy. It's just a piece of scrap fabric with a bunch of pins and needles. I was impressively kind, I think. You must have been, because like he's still living and breathing. I don't know that I could say the same. Oh, that pin that's a bent pin. I should throw it away, but I just put it right back in my pin cushion. Whew. All right. Don't go over the needles. Don't go over the needles. Don't go over the needles. Yeah. It's got a little bit of a curve now, which will give it a little bit of a little not smush, but a little flare. Because I have a high waist, but I do have a narrow part. It's just a little bit higher. And I want to also just along here because that was my back line, even though I don't have enough fabric. Oh, you know what I can do though? I'm just going to take this little piece I cut out and just tape it. Tape it in because who cares? I'm not even going to use real tape. I'm going to use washi tape that I just have right here that I have. Not that I am wasteful, but I made a build book for Link, and all the pages are like a scrapbook, and the stuff is held on by like this washi tape that I designed that's in the same pattern as some of the game elements. But you had to order like a minimum of 10 rolls for it, and I used 3 for my build book, but now I have all this tape that I have nothing to use for. So I've been using it for like painting and stuff, and it's awesome. It's working so good. And I'm not wasting a whole bunch of materials, which I really appreciate. I don't like wasting stuff. I even get really weird about like throwing food away. I am a clean plate person. Okay. All right, that's meant to be our back princess seam. It feels so weird to me, but I think it's just because it's lower cut than what I'm used to. The shape doesn't seem quite right. I mean, it will get more shaped once I sew it, but this initial shape is making some red flags go off in my brain, and I think it's just because I don't usually cut, like I'm missing the top couple inches of the pattern because it's just so much lower. It's so much lower. I wonder how it's going to stay on. That's something I need to think about too. I'm probably going to have to like cut some or put some maybe snaps in it. Snaps are pretty powerful. So maybe that will solve it. Okay, now I'm going to cut. There's extra bottom because it doesn't matter, right? Because we still have to figure out the skirt part. Okay. Here's this. Oh, she fell. We decided a little bit extra. Was that it? Did I just have a little bit extra? Did I make this piece too big? I don't know. Maybe. Do I spend time here trying to get it? You know what? I'm not. I'm just going to layer it on top of this one. And is that right? I think it was right. Does it go this way? Uh-oh. No, it goes this way. Like that. Like that. Because my pen marks line up. And then we just take it and we trace it. All right, here are my like real serious worries about what I'm doing, because as my friend Abby likes to say, you're supposed to know the rules so you know what rules to break. I don't even know the rules, and I know I'm breaking the rules, but if I don't know the rules, then I won't know how to fix what I've broken. Does that make sense? This is my real fear, not just like here draping, but this is like a fear that I have whenever I make something, especially when I do like prop work and electronics stuff, when I'm like trying to put lights into things, because I know I'm not doing something right. I know that there are mistakes probably all over the place, but I don't know what they are. And I don't know what mistake I'm making right now. Because there's wrinkles and stuff in my muslin. And do I need to start to like plan for that here? Or is that something that I do down the road? I have no idea. So, man, I could really use like a fashion mentor to come in and be like, this is it. This is where you flubbed. Fix it now or forever deal with the consequences. Because I would do that. I would fix it now. If we found it and we're like, yeah, that's the problem, I'd be like, well, let's fix it. Let's do it right now. But I don't know. And I feel like if I don't address some of these wrinkles that I'm seeing in the middle in this exact moment, is it just going to get exacerbated down the road? It's a shame other states don't. It's a shame other states don't. Question mark? Did I forget? Say more. Oh yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know what those are. I'm assuming like a BOCES school is like a charter school or like a trade school or like additional schools to go to so you could learn. I mean, it's not bad. This isn't the worst thing I've ever made. I do feel like you know what I am? I'm going to address some of the wrinkles right now with pins and stuff, and I'll just trace these pieces onto something else. That will probably work, right? And as long as I can get the pieces flat. I feel this way when I make a duct tape pattern too. Like there's a lot of experimental, and it's just to get the general, to have something where there was nothing, you know? And then I spend time getting that something to be something better than what it once was. There, I want that. And then I want, like, I see that there are wrinkles here and I don't want them. So I'm going to just do little tucks to help shape my pieces flatly. What could go wrong? They're a trade school. I do like a program. Oh, cool. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. I also think about that. Like, how much would I gain from going back and just taking a class like here and there if I could find a place that I liked too? And I think it'd be a really, really good thing. I also think my partner pointed this out that like I'm also in a place in my life where I have a lot of learners agency. I already have a lot of learners agency. So I am getting by just like figuring it out. But how nice would it be to like go somewhere and have start to build a professional network where you can ask questions? Because I'm finding that when I'm working on stuff and I do get myself into kind of a corner, I don't have a lot of experts to turn to. This happens a lot when I'm like molding and casting and like working with electronics. At least not people who are like not assholes about it. Sorry, internet. Sorry for the bad language. I don't know how else to say it. Like I don't post on the RPF anymore because I am tired of the treatment there. And but I do still need like people who know how to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? Sewing is a lot easier. I do spend a lot of time on sheet prop. That helps. Like those folks are knowledgeable and kind and accessible, which I really appreciate. But with the other things, I get less traction on some of the more like niche stuff that I do. I mean, molding and casting is a hard one to get feedback on. And I do have a couple of mentors that I turn to, but I ask them a lot. So I'm trying not to like be crazy obnoxious about it. What? She is who she is. That's cool. There's a community college around here that I should check out. I've looked at their classes quite a bit. But I should see what if they have anything like any other offerings that have started to speak to me. Okay, I want to right now what I'm doing, you're seeing me just like fiddle with stuff, and all I'm trying to do is flatten my pieces. So if there is like a place where I can add a tuck or a pin or a dart or something to just like help the piece sit a little bit flatter, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to trim off. I don't think it needs to be this long. And my plan is going to be to take these down then and transfer the pattern to maybe some paper pieces. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Okay. Hey, we're getting somewhere. This is probably too long back here, but I'm a little nervous to like, I'm going to pin it because this one makes me nervous. Like I'm really worried I'll cut my fabric, my garment underneath. Just pin a line of like, this is too long. Take it up. Too long. Take it up some more. Probably even more than that. Okay, and then like right here, I feel like this probably needs to get trimmed down to get this princess seam a little bit like tighter and nicer. Okay. So what should I do? And then this one right here, I kind of feel the same way. Like, even though that side seam is going to be tough. I'm going to leave the side seam as it is because that's always where I start when I take stuff in is I start there. I've been feeling that recently. Me and a couple others are sort of the senior staff and people are coming to us for advice, but like, yeah, you need others to know more than you. Like, oh, they're so intimidating. Ooh, okay. I do think about the Discord offer a lot. It's just one of those things like in all the other whirlwind stuff that I'm doing, it's just on the back burner. I hadn't thought about that though. Like it could be a place where people aren't assholes about things. That would be nice. I don't know how to do that, but culture is a big part of that. I know that. Oh, I hadn't considered that. That would be really nice. I mean, there are a lot of nice people out there who just want to be helpful, and I appreciate their enthusiasm to do it. I know communication is a hard skill. So, whew. Yeah. Oh, I imagine it's tough when you're senior staff too, and like, but even senior staff have questions. Even senior staff get stuck on stuff. I'm pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things, but I don't know everything. When I get stuck, like I get real stuck. And then I get obsessive. Like I have to solve this problem right now or I'll never be able to solve it ever in my entire life. So it's not a great cycle. I did get to before that Boise convention got canceled, the one that I was going to guest at, they had a cosplay mentorship program where they connected some new cosplayers with more seasoned cosplayers. And I was one of the seasoned cosplayers, which is, that was a kind thing for them to say anyways. But I really liked that. I like that idea that there was a mentorship opportunity There's really cool. I've never seen anyone else like initiate that either. So I'm bummed for a lot of reasons that the convention got canceled, but uh that was one of them is that like mentorship moment. Which is something you get in an academic place, like an academic setting, but you don't always get anywhere else. Okay. Well, hey, look at that. We have 4 pieces. Like that's more than I thought we would have. I kind of can't believe it. We've got some pieces of maybe a pattern here. Somewhere along the way I bled on this. I don't know how. I don't know where it came from, but there is now officially blood, sweat, and tears in the mock-up. So there's that. And fabric is not like prop work. You can't just sand the blood off, which I have done. Okay. I don't enjoy this, but I like the result. I like that we have something here now. And I think I can lift this up enough that I won't cut the fabric. Yeah, like that. Okay. A lot of work. But let's get this piece. Look at this front piece touched up. Trim it down. And then so it's 2:34. If a project didn't have either a popsicle stick or my own blood in it, I don't even know what I would do with myself. Like, who is that woman? Who is that maker? Yeah, that makes sense what I just cut out of there because that is very much like a dart that I would have had in there. And I do know that I have a shorter torso, so if I need to take fabric in like this for the shape of it, that is not unheard of either. I may be one of the only people on the internet in the world who has used Yaya Han's bodysuit pattern. And she's also kind of short torsoed too. And it just like worked for me. It was awesome. So in this, we are alike. I'm just going to flatten that out. Nice. That one has a little dart in it too, and that's okay. And then we're just going to pin it back in place. No seam allowance. We're not worried about seam allowance right now. All we want is our pieces to sit together and play nice. Not even worried about the length of them. Oh my gosh. Well, was this a trust the process moment? I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like this. I don't like doing this. But I think we've got something, which is more than I can say we had at the start of this. Was it joyful? Did it bring me joy? Sure didn't, but I do like the result. I actually think my trim line for these pieces, for the length of them, should be just below the waistline for the skirt. And then I can start to work on. Skirts are so much easier to pattern. I mean, they're just like a circle or a rectangle. However, and maybe take that one back. This one has this weird geometric thingies in it. So I might have to do a little research on how to do that. There are books out there on how to sew fabric geometrically, which is always like piqued my interest, but I never really had a reason to like buy the books to see them. But maybe I should pick one of those up because it might be helpful. It might be helpful. I don't know. Okay. Man, there's nothing like this. Really makes me see the short torso I'm working with. It's not just in my head. All right, lots of pins in her, but we got 4 pattern pieces for the overdress, which yeah, oh, I'll take it. I'm not gonna kick that out of bed for eating crackers. Nope. Wait, I messed this one up though. This one goes like that. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that took so long. Oh, jeez. That's unforgiving. Okay. I think that's probably it for today. I'll post the skirt online if I make any progress on that on my Instagram, which I need to get back on, and maybe I'll sit down and do some beading for a little while because that'd be a nice change of pace. But before I do that, I'm gonna trim this up. Let's go ahead and just one last little. Don't cut your garment underneath. Don't cut your garment underneath. Okay. Feels really wasteful of muslin. I have like gone through quite a bit, but that could be me. That could be my fault. I'm not gonna blame this process that I'm making up as I go. All right, we have a back one. Boop, boop. 4 pieces. Princess seams. Side seam. Now I just got to make the skirt part of it. So, and then I can cut it all out. Boy, I'm going to think about how to do that. I have no idea. One day, maybe I'll get an Instagram. Oh, let me know if you ever need help with the Discord. Okay. Yeah, as I start to like figure out more and more of that, I'll reach out to you. I do have plans. Like I'm working on season 2 for my YouTube channel, and I am trying to create a space on my Instagram where it's like project updates and announcements. And then Facebook Meta is just whatever it is linked to it. And I have a plan for all that. And I did have a plan for my branding, which I finally like figured out and executed for Lilac City Comic Con. So I'm so glad that's done. But yeah, as that continues to grow, I will let you know because I would very much love help with that. I don't want to figure that one out. So I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll keep you in mind for that. I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Anyone who watches this later, thanks for making it to the end. I hope your day is awesome. And remember that I live stream every other week. So Sundays 1 to 2:30, not next week, but the following week. And we make fun stuff here. So thanks. Awesome to see you. I'll see you later. Bye.